Hello! And hey. That's weird. Okay. Hello! And welcome back. Must have accidentally hit some, changer there. Anyways. So. We're back for more Final Fantasy XIV. Last we left off, let's see, we started Endwalker. We ran off to old Sharlayan, and it's out in the northern empty. And then we did some investigating there in Sharlayan, trying to figure out what's going on. Why are the Sharlayans seemingly not afraid of the end of the world at all? Because they're all like, nah, it's not going to end right now. We would know. Like, oh really? So we're investigating why they're so sure of themselves, and also why they refuse to help the rest of the world prevent the end of the world. And we also split our party up. Some people were investigating in old Sharlayan, and others went off to Ilsabard to investigate a tower over there, because the people there are like, whoa, what's this? I don't know. People getting kidnapped. Who knows? We need help. So we're swooping in to investigate that. We already know what the towers are all about, but dealing with them is... we still don't know how to properly deal with them without injuring the people inside. The captives. Yeah, so we started helping them, and some of those people, the beast tribe of the area, well, not so much a beast tribe, just like a tribe of like, alchemists, are working on making like an amulet to prevent, tempering, prevent themselves from being tempered by the tower. So that's pretty interesting. You know, we decided to try and help them out however we can. And yeah, now here we are. So... transition. Yes, here we are. So I'm currently back in Sharlayan. I figured we'd do a bit more investigating on this side, because I think, let me take a look here. I think we are almost done with the Thavnir side. That's the area with Ilsabard and all that. Because we were... yeah, I think we were like a couple of quests away from finishing that side, but we're only on like the second quest on this side, so we'll try and make some progress here. Hello, Alice.
As busy as ever, I see. How very Sharlayan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about Telophoroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think?
Alice is now accompanying you. Please keep up. I know how accompanying works. This is like the 5th time you've had me do this. You don't need to explain it every single time.
Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levier. My apologies, but I work in the offices of the Forum, and if word reached Master Fortunol that I was helping you... I see. We're sorry to have bothered you.
Yeah, Alice, I don't think this is gonna work out super well. Also, I'm not sure how widespread the information is about the Telophoroi, especially here in Sharlayan, where they tend to just be apart from everyone.
What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere.
You misunderstand, sir. We were simply wondering if you knew of the Telophoroi. These enemies of peace have promised to promised an end to all we hold dear, and
Wait, you're that House Levier girl, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge their barbaric whims. And here you are, giving truth to the rumor. I'll thank you to leave me be. I've naught to say to the likes of you.
well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of chivalry from one so enlightened. Come, Junosia.
Yeah, Alize, just about everybody knows that you've been disowned by your father. I don't think you're gonna get much help.
Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? Wait, is that Mistress Alize I see there? My word, how long has it been?
Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the last stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion, in between lessons at the studium.
That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home?
It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems.
Well, it is House Levier. No matter how discreet Master Fortunato may have been, news of your family's doings never stays secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times?
Well, questions, and only Sharlayan has the answers. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days?
What, like the end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse?
Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak with me.
I wish there was more I could do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Sharlayan, aren't you? Then few will know your face. We should be able to pass you off as a server with none the wiser. We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're setting down the food, and you might just get the answers you're looking for.
Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'll do it. That's the spirit. Pay attention now, I'll explain where each of these dishes needs to go. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelette is for one of the regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them you should see Mikate Gentleman. He ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Good luck.
Yeah, I definitely look like a server. Totally. Look at me. Oh man. I don't even know if... what if I... Oh, insect. Man. My armory chest is always so full. Hello? Why won't it... It's weird. Should be... Control I. Wait. Oh. Because it's not clicked into the game. There we go. Pants might be issue. What is this doing? Get that out of here. Just take a look and make sure there's nothing else. Yeah. Wait, no, that's Cycle War, so that's fine. Okay. They got bracelet. That one's a healer. Ring's probably gonna be issue. This and this. Okay. There. Just wanted to see what looks like. Yeah, it looks a little more, maybe. Sure, yeah. Scholarly. Should be the group by the water, which should be an oven baked. No. Tea set.
Oh, my tea set, lovely, thank you.
Ah.
The Talofa who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them, or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to talk your ear off.
Omelette.
Oh, finally, 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in, no time to waste.
2, 4, 6, 8, what?
What? The Talofa? Ah, yes, I remember seeing the name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral.
And then the lobster. Urbane banter with a smile. Oven-baked lobster.
At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine! You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. The final days? This is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. You don't know what a gleaner is? Oh, they're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that we haven't got here in Sharlayan. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the field, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Telephoroi make good on their audacious threats, then many uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would the gleaners be buzzing about in such a frenzy? Watch the harbour and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads in from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Yeah. Uh-huh. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Interesting. They seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon had nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum does have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thank you for playing the part so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised.
Woohoo! A cup of coffee.
But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle? Away from the gossip and the and the wagging tongues? Yes, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant. Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Graham said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt. And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently.
What justifies it? Protecting our friends and family, our loved ones? We're not charging off to war. We are protecting ourselves.
It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family. If I could have just mustered a civil response, then things might have turned out differently.
Why do they seem shady to me?
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
Also, each boat had the same driver.
A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility.
Underground? You're keeping all that flora underground?
Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat. Wait! Didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual?
Oh yeah.
Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum. If the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Are they planning a Noah's Ark situation? Just let the world be destroyed, but then rebuild it after?
Henrique is excited to share your revelations.
We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead to Numenon, and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back.
Oh yes, also off stream I haven't done much leveling of classes. I mean, I've got level 50 at least for all the healer classes, all the magical range DPS, melee DPS we already had. But then I've been working a bit on Bard, got 14 levels so far, getting close to 50. And then I think I will go ahead and try to get Gladiator and Marauder to 50. After that. Though I suppose another reason to hold off is because once that new expansion hits, well, I guess I don't need to hold off that much, but once that new expansion hits, there's going to be a lot of people trying out those new DPS classes, which means there's going to be a lot of DPSs in the duty finders, and not so many tanks and healers.
Welcome back, Genosia. Been a while. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners.
It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from institutions and bureaucrats.
But as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum.
A sudden and significant increase in Gleaner traffic and in cargo. It certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion.
Let us see what theory we can build from the facts. As Y'shtola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appeared to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Genosia and Alice learned at the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of that particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophoroi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official agents of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions.
Anything would be better than burying my head in another A fine idea!
I'm glad you approve. You won't be disappointed, I promise. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is.
Yep, down the stairs. Whoop! Tranquility.
Ready? Labyrinthos is not too far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close.
Follow as you say.
Off we go then.
Sets off for a brisk walk, does she? Not exactly very brisk. In fact, slower than my slowest walking speed.
It's pleasant here amongst the trees, but we really should move along.
Yes, you should. Go.
Now we run. Try to keep up.
Oh, I can keep up just fine. In fact,
Keep to the path straight ahead. We cross this bridge. Up here.
now her... Nope. So I have to say now her speed matches my running speed.
The rostra not far now.
But now it does, yeah. It's just going up the stairs that she's a little slow.
Whoop. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune to the shard back there, didn't you? It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving.
Okay, just let me change back into sage. Yeah, I already attuned to all of them, right?
Ooh, a shooting star. Off in the distance.
Yeah. Fully attuned.
A chocobo keep?
Okay. Hi. Well met, traveler.
We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone onto the lift and down we go.
I gained 26,000 experience. Woohoo!
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky. In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves, and this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed. If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation. Knowledge buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
Labyrinthos. Yeah, how? This is under an island. You do realize islands are surrounded by the ocean, right? What? This is very deep below the island.
Not what you expected. I must admit, the artifice is very convincing. But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma.
Okay, so they didn't have to
It was
hollow
discovered
out
some
too
400
much,
years
I
ago,
guess.
at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh or no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
They just keep on expanding.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Crowley?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much help Alize and Elfino will be here, being as everybody, just about everybody knows they've been disowned. And that helping them is frowned upon. Crow? Hey, Crow?
Did you call to me just now?
No. What's going on?
Oh, how odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent.
No. Crow, no.
I'll be
Talk
fine,
to
I'm
me.
sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Crow? Crow, there is something going on. Is Heidelin contacting you? Hello, Doppin. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books, and ore, and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos. You know, sort of tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a few summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess gets dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. If I know the reason, could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. Your exchange with Dublin has taught you about taking stock in Labyrinthos. Indeed. Yep. Teve.
Let me think. The rear seeds should be item 1058, cumin seeds 1059, snurbbleberry 1060. Were they 1061? Dark, my head feels like it's stuffed with moko grass. Why more loads to take out than carry in? Why do all this at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Kurthin carrots for the Girabanian carrots? What then?
Your exchange with Teve has taught you about large shipments coming in and out of Labyrinthos. Well, yeah. I know what my conversation has taught me. Because I had the conversation.
You here to talk, or you here to help, or give me more headaches?
Because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter.
One of my colleagues was so exhausted, he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have a pack of marmots running loose.
Yes, I know, exhausted gleaners. Come on, Final Fantasy 14. Square Enix, I'm not a moron. I understand what words mean. I don't need to have it explained to me right after I read the words.
Any luck, Genosia? What tales did the gleaners have to tell?
Oh, hand over.
So this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the Forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. We would do well to learn more of what specifically the Gleaners are being tasked to do, as well as who has tasked them to do it. If you're game, June, I have an idea. Didn't one of the Gleaners you questioned say something about escaped marmots? Perhaps if you were to help him capture said creatures, he might be inclined towards a more friendly and enlightening conversation? In the meantime, I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here. We can compare notes afterwards. Happy hunting!
You know, saying I will turn my charms upon this Gleaner here, right in front of him, feels like that would make him go, I don't know if I'm gonna help you. I don't know if I'm gonna conversate with you. You know?
You wish to help me find the marmot? I've nothing suitable to pay you for your services, but if you're offering out of the goodness of your heart, I'd welcome the assistance. The name is Erenville, friend, specialist in the collection of live specimens. That said, the capture of these Nagshian marmots is a trial I've no desire to repeat. Grizzled mice, they call them. For a mercy, there are no other marmot species on this tier at present, so there should be no mistaking our little fugitives. If you happen to catch any, stuff them in this sack. Gently, of course.
Stick them in this bag. Gently.
Where to begin, you wonder? I've not seen any scampering around here, so we'll need to widen our search into the surrounding forest. Be on your guard. There are beasts out there that won't hesitate to prey on a marmot, or you. I'll search the trees to the west. The eastern part of the forest is all yours. Good luck.
Okay, yeah, that is east.
Mornvale Forest.
Ooh. Cliff. Hello, troll. You're big. Don't mind me, just looking for a marmot. Yeah. Back off. Such a... Hello? Chirping sounds. Yeah, such a wide area to search, and yet I haven't spotted a single marmot. Ah! There's a grizzled mouse. So small. Uh-oh. I got you, buddy. Fret not. You will not be eaten by this coyote today. Or that one. For that matter. Chip squeak. But no, barely have you readied the sack when the grizzled mouse scampers off into the underbrush. What do you mean? Scampered off into the underbrush. Bruh. There you are, little mouse. At least the coyotes aren't very strong. Oh, hello, troll. Rat sack. Stuff him in the rat. Are you kidding me? The rodent nimbly evades your grasp before once more disappearing into the trees. Come on, little mouse. At least we know that we're just looking for a big purple ring. How do I... Ah, there we go. Aha! No purple ring this time, but you've got to be kidding me. This whole place has... Oh my goodness. Oh no. Oh no. Hang on. Hang on, little mouse. I need to get an ether current. Laser cross. All right. That makes me wonder about... Another 5 ether current quests in Labyrinthos, plus a bajillion. What is that, like 10? 10 out and about? Woof! Chirp! Get in the circle. Creak, creak.
More prepared for its speed this time, you succeed in closing the sack over your elusive quarry. There we go. Come on. There we go. Oh, and I suppose we could mount. Can't fly, though. Almost there. Arenville. I caught one mouse.
How did you fare?
I tracked down 3 of the pack, which leaves 1 unaccounted for. I found it. I found the one. Ah, there's the odd marmotte. Wait here a moment while I put our friends in a holding cage. Thankfully, the marmots seem to be unharmed. They've held up well in isolation, but it's much too soon to release them into the habitat. It's a good thing we were able to recapture them so swiftly. You have my thanks. Who tasked you with this in the first place? Why, the authority in charge of Labyrinthos, now and in perpetuity. The same officials who've had us working day and night of late. The honorable members of the Forum, who else? Suitable for consumption and easy to breed. Those were the 2 conditions I was given for the stock I was instructed to procure. So, plenty of food then, to stockpile. I don't know what the Forum has planned for these creatures, but at the very least, I doubt they'll be served for dinner today or tomorrow. Provisions or something that could easily repopulate the world that is edible. And
There you are, Genosia. There you are, Genosia. Is this the cleaner you mentioned? The one who was looking for lost marmots?
Interesting company you keep, friend. Who are you folk, anyway?
I'm Kryle of the Students of Aldesian. These others are my associates. Truth be told, the Forum's decisions of late have not sat entirely well with us. That is why we made the descent into Labyrinthos. We hoped that by seeing those decisions put into action, we might more fully understand their reasoning.
Wise and practical. Never hurts to try and gain a broader perspective, does it? Anyway, duty calls, other animals to capture and enclosures to empty. Once again, I'm sorry that I can't offer you more for your services. Ta-ta.
Did you learn anything new from your friend there? So we've confirmed that the order of this ambitious?
That is not a word I have ever seen.
Operation did indeed come directly from the Forum. However, the cleaners have not been informed of its purpose.
Indeed.
I'd say that fits with everything we've heard thus far. We also discovered when the operation was begun, the Forum contacted the Gleaners Guild ship and put their people to this great work some 4 days after the Telophoroi made their chilling declaration. As seasoned travelers, the Gleaners keep abreast of news from every corner of the world out of necessity. Thus am I inclined to trust that their calendar of events is accurate. Altogether, it gives the distinct impression that this undertaking was a sudden and unexpected development. Yet I find it hard to believe that such a comprehensive restructuring of Labyrinthos and its archives could have been planned in so brief a window. Nay, this plan was long in the making. They were but awaiting the right time to put it into effect. And the Telophoroi's declaration was what set it all in motion? It seems likely, but let us not leap to conclusions just yet. For the moment, I suggest we conduct a wider investigation of Labyrinthos. The more facilities we visit, the more pieces of the puzzle we stand to find. In that case, how about we head to the Archaeon? From there, we can reach the lower...
Hey, Kryle.
Kryle, what's going on? Or what's wrong? I'm fine, truly. The sudden descent has left me with a bit of a headache, that's all. And nothing that will stop me from soldiering on. Let's be about it then. At least allow me to take the lead. I'm fairly certain I remember the way to the Archaeon. We follow the path east through the forest where you were chasing after that mouse, or marmot, was it? Anyway, 'tis the trolls you need to watch out for.
Hey, Kryle, remember how every one of the Scions started having those weird headaches and then got their ether transported to another star? This seems rather similar. So, perhaps you should actually tell us more and actually treat it the way you should. You were there. You looked after the bodies of the Scions that were left here while their spirit was off in another star. You should know better than most that these are not good signs. This is not just the descent of giving you a headache. Kryle. Yeah. Not really related though, so not sure why it's there.
Behold the Archaeon. As Numenon serves as Sharlayan's literary archive, so does this structure house the city's wealth of material data. The architecture too is similar. This building you see is merely the upper entrance, an access point to the vaults carved into the cliffside itself. Within those vast rooms are stored countless samples and specimens, as well as the detailed records which describe them. In a matter of speaking, the Archaeon contains a physical history of Sharlayan's unwavering dedication to the accumulation of knowledge.
Okay, but animals should not be kept underground unless they are underground animals. They should. It's much more difficult to give them the space they need when underground. Requires a lot of digging.
Well, we won't learn anything of value standing out here. Let us proceed into the main building and speak with the custodian.
I'll just attune to this ink right here. It's a gemstone trader I should probably speak with. Yep. Bruh, bruh, bruh. Where is the nearest? 187 to the south. Okay. Means there's nothing to the north, or probably not to the east either. Archeon Custodian.
Greetings. We are here to peruse the Archeon's vaults.
Peruse? You are clearly not gleaners. Then, might I ask your affiliation?
We belong to the students of Baldesion, but is that relevant? I was given to believe that the vaults, those open to the public at least, were open to the public.
Ordinarily, yes, that would be the case. At present, however, access is restricted. Only persons directly involved in the reorganization efforts are permitted to enter.
Not us, then. I suppose we had better move along to another facility. This building has a lift which connects to the middle tier, yes? Might we at least make use of that?
That service has also been suspended, I am afraid. For the time being, priority has been given over to the conveyance of inventory.
What? So this is as far as we can go?
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please come again after our restructuring operation is concluded.
By that time it will be too late, and we were so close to getting answers.
We need to rethink our approach. Let us step outside for a moment, shall we?
Students of Baldesion. What are you thinking about, custodian man? Also,
Just wondering. Deeper into the maze. Ah. Bit more than halfway through the old Sharlayan quest. Or old Sharlayan quest chain. It really looks like Sharlayan, but apparently it's Sharlayan. That's how you pronounce it. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to peruse this one further. But I doubt that our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. Another means? Ishtar? 'Tis likely that the people in this area are involved in the restructuring in one way or another. If we were to ingratiate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them on the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Uh-huh. Yeah, because that's not suspicious at all. To the custodian.
Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archeon, even though we found... Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere, but it was wandering around Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squeal, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archeon is open again.
Wait. Hold on. Well, we got a couple of options. We got... And then we have... Or... oddest little squeal, don't you think? Yes. Quite odd. Okay. I just want to quickly grab something. All right. Let me test. It is pretty loud. It's a bit better. Okay. Well met, traveler. Papa. So. Ha! Bone-weary worker. Sounds perfect. What's that? Take you down on the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. I see. The outer circuit. Don't mind me. Ah. Orenville. Wait a minute. Is this the same? It's the same. Quiet, you'll frighten it away. Ah, it's you again. I didn't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close. Very close. You wish to help me with this too? You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry a distinctive caw. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. Okay. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Search your surroundings and shoot it. It's gotta be this one. Oh, that's whack, whack. Okay, that one. Yeah. Oh, come on. Bro. Oh, yeah, let's zoom in. That'll help. There we go. Caw. Blah. Blah. Yeah. Yeah!
A fair shot.
He has a voice.
Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
Let me trust this one up, and I'll make my way over to you.
there you are. Any new revelations?
Kind of.
So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill.
Mm-hmm.
I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a gleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
Seems an odd place to take a
The
bird.
restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers handpicked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
Absolute
What could a
secrecy.
facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
Yeah.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the Forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Yeah.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
Uh-huh.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome, but consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Too treacherous.
Well,
come
turning
on.
back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
Yeah. Notters. All right. I suppose we might as well deal with this fate while we're here. Blasting it into oblivion. Ah! Ah! Killing so many of them. Very nice. Single-handedly dealing with this fate. Duck these guys. All taken care of. Orion. Oh, by the way. Northwest, 143. Definitely passed it on my way down here then. Assuming it's on this upper level of this cliff here. Southwest. Yeah, so it's definitely like over the side of the cliff then, right? Gotta be. It says 81, so yeah, it's down the cliff. Which means it's not the closest ether current to my current location, because it's not 81 yalms that way. It's like more than 81 yalms that way. It's like 160 yalms or so.
This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures homed there by the researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue.
Well, I'll put on this new hat. Item level 515. Yeah, it should be this. Comparison much better. There doesn't have piety, instead has spell speed. Oh, I won't be able to glamour it. I won't wear it yet, but I want to glamour it. Can't lose my crown.
Assuming everyone's tightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel.
In other words, don't worry if you don't see us actually walking through the tunnel. We'll just keep our distance and all make it to the end. Individually. Mithril cap. Freaky little creature. Uh-oh. About to be in a fight. You sense a hostile presence. Not in combat. Whatever. I mean, now I'm in combat. Alright. We ride. $95 to the southwest. To the northwest. It's probably in that other passage. Surveying. Readying for a fight. Hello there. Who wants to go? Nice. We ride some more. Alright. Where's that heat current? 73 to the northeast. There it is. Huzzah. A tuning. 400 to the northwest. Yeah, that's... Well, possibly sooner than later. If this cave actually leads out to the base of that cliff. Alphinu, my boy!
Everyone seems to have made it through without incident. Nothing of consequence, at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agricultural production. If Arenville's assumption holds true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see.
Sure. Yeah. 444 to the north. Well, we happen to be heading north anyway. Ah, and there's that tower, so it should be right around there somewhere. Still 233. Oh. Bit of a river there. Oh, it might be up on that cliff there. Which means we gotta go a bit further. No, Corrigan and onion. Bro. Come on, guys. Yeah, east. Oh, is it not on top of this? Is it down there? It is. Hello. Heal myself a bit. Then deal with you. Nope. Alright, attuning. Aha. Come on. Come on. Stupid wall just barely high enough that I can't jump over it. This next one. 400 to the northwest. Surveying. Oh. The grapes.
Aha! Now I know where we are. This is Marial Ergonomics. Labyrinthos is host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized on foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Agora. The food so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutritional benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know something of the Forum's plans and their underlying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say?
I would think that they, like the Gleaners, don't know why they're doing the things they're doing. They just know that they have to do them.
See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same or cast about for useful clues.
Well, they're a little less polygonal than the screenshots I've seen, but, boy, those grapes, huh? Those grapes. Just you wait. The graphical update will make them look better, surely.
What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising, given that it's native to a particular locale in the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modelled, a region in the south of Ilzabad. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swells of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Corvos before the Imperials renamed it Locus Amonis. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate within the confines of Labyrinthos. It's since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation.
Indeed. Overwhelmed labourer?
Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some has been earmarked for aerial transport, hence the stack of crates atop that hill over there. Gods, hauling the lot up that slope was a job and a half.
One more person to talk to.
Jipke.
Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors. Not with use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway?
There's a cave. A little mine cave.
The mine shaft, you say? Well, you're a much hardier soul than I. Under the normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields. But I'm afraid the Forum has us filling order lists a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests. Literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be shuffling around old stock to make room for the new. And then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that All would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Hello. That is a lovely bit of barding you got there. Managia. Ba 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 ba. Managia. Ba 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 ba. Jean Quinet. Tending the wheat fields. Well, a stacked boxes on the hill, eh? No, Corrigan. No. Leave me alone. What have we here? The labels on these crates tell the story of their contents. Bundles of common seeds and saplings, accompanied by sheaves of reports. Is that so? Those are some beautiful flowers.
Hard to look away, isn't it?
And you are?
But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Sharlayan at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin.
I see.
To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest?
Heart blooms. They respond to ambient ether.
A
or
flower
ambient
that
emotions.
reacts to one's feelings. Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
Really?
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we failed to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly.
That'd be lovely.
Unless a forum member is
Isn't that the
here
entrance to the Archaean?
right now.
Oh, hello.
Look, there. I think that's Erenville.
Hey, Artenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member, or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions. And no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all...
We should all... Kyle?
Cryo?
Oh, yes. That certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him.
Hey, Kyle.
Almost. I can almost reach you.
Who? Huh? Kyle?
What is going on, Crow? Why don't you talk to us? Is Kryle still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away.
The full report, warts and all. Alright, that's the third to last in this chain.
Orenville was headed westwards along the path outside the Archeon. Come, we can still catch him.
Why are you guys heading east? If he was headed west. Just jump off the cliff like me.
Woo!
There goes my ankle.
It'll heal. I'm a doctor. See? All better.
Oh yes, also 165 to the west. Gotta be across this bridge then. Or over the cliff. Nope, not over the cliff, that's for sure. What's 111 to the west. Numa. Numa, Numa, yeah. Numa, 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 yeah. to the rest of our group, who took the northern bridge. Hey guys, why are you standing around? Come on. We gotta get after Arnville. Oh, cutscene.
Hold a moment, I have an idea.
Oh?
If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' ultimate climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, with which one could access the upper or lower tiers. If we were an agent of the Forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Arnville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness!
Hey, Stola. Why are we toads?
Unaccustomed to transfiguration? Worry not. It will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Arnville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where the creatures hereabouts in that form, you are essentially defenseless.
You have changed into a toad! You must remain transfigured in order to progress with quest objectives. You will return from your transfigured status if you move too far away. Look to your map for the transfiguration's area of effect. Speak with Stola to restore or prolong the transfiguration. Rabbit. 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 Alpha Toad and Owly Toad are now accompanying you. Keep them at your side in order to... You can leave the quest. Yep. Alpha Toad and Owly Toad. Rabbit. Rabbit. Look at us. We're all frogs. Look at it. Even my companion, Pororogo. Look at us, man. Now we're all toads. Come, my toads. Ribbit. Ribbit. We hippity hop along. New locations being discovered all the time. Oh, can't execute that. No worries. Oh, this is why full report, warts and all. Because we're toads. Really, we're frogs, not toads. Look at us. That's a frog. Also, the slapping sounds of our feet. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Sharlayan scholars, and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Sharlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
It's true.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
Uh-huh. Especially since y'all are in elected positions. This doesn't bode well for your re-election. Hi. Hi.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full. While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
I'm glad you are understanding.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
Oh, come on. He collects beasts and whatnot for a living. Of course he knows that that particular type of frog doesn't belong here.
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Yeah. Also your mannerisms and movements. And the fact that there were 3 toads just sitting there staring at him. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps, we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle. This momentous duty the Forum agent mentioned. Sharlayan has been called to action, and the Telophoroi's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. I assume, this is my thinking, they were charged with, when the end of days comes, Sharlayan needs to rebuild the world afterwards. And that's why they've been hoarding all this knowledge and collecting and experimenting and just learning all that they can about the world so that they know how to rebuild the world after its destruction. right? Because you can't just throw a bunch of whatever animals you think should now or should continue to exist back into the wild. You gotta do a lot of work. And there's a lot of creatures that are more unsavory to the likes of us that do have a place and a purpose in the wider ecosystem.
What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryl for the moment, see what they think of this.
Bah, bah, bah. And also, 100 to the southwest. 149. It's gotta be down the cliff. I'll take a look just in case. Well, I suppose it might be in this little square, but I doubt it. 68 southwest. 33 to the to the west. Okay, maybe it's up there. Yeah, there it is. Okay, not down the cliff. That's good. We've gathered 4 out of the 10. About to be a 5th, so we'll have half of the exploration ether currents at least. It's too far away. Come on. Woo. And the next closest, 256 to the southeast. Really? So it's probably kind of on my way back. Also, let's quickly grab this bit of map. Look at that artificial sun, dude. So with all those rings there, they've got to, like, block out parts of the sun's rays. $233 southwest. Wait, I thought it was southeast. Okay, then that must be down in the lower level. Something. If that's even... No, that's definitely on the map. Okay. What? No! Stop it! Stupid toad. Yeah, see, those are toads. We were little froggies, not toads.
Welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then?
Wah, 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 wah.
Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important. even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kryle, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Very well. Kryle. What are you up to, Kryle? Fuegos. Well, real quick, I guess we'll check that hilltop. See if she's staring at those flowers again. Yep, there she is. Thought so. What you doing? Kryle.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
What, huh?
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
I see. It was Heidelin that was talking to you.
Thank you. Do
Like
not
her
worry.
face.
She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance.
But you did it on the ship!
Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment.
Yeah, and?
It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest.
Okay.
After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. Her, and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower, walk free, for you are free, to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction.
Wait. You are free to go and do whatever you want. And that flower will be your guide. If it's my guide, then it's not my free choice of where to go. What? Huh?
Darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow.
See, you're telling me go, be free, but then also telling me what to do. I'm getting very mixed messages here, Heidelin.
Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first. So weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread. Imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go.
Uh-huh.
Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower.
How does it get... what?
Yes, we are definitely making progress.
She was so contradicting.
You can't be
herself.
serious. We've done nothing wrong.
Huh? Or was that their father again?
Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization.
Yes?
We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian, a group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities.
Yeah.
Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What, then, is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha!
Graha?
But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
He's an archon.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Screw you, man. But also, I could literally just come back here again if I wanted to. I've got the aetheryte. I can teleport in. You can't stop me. Hey, Graha. Can't believe reading's a crime.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Smile.
The Forum will come to order. This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings.
Uh-huh.
Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
Yeah.
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work.
No, wrong.
They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large.
So, Kryle, you let your hood down. Hey, Kryle. I've never seen you without your hood.
Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
My goodness, you're just making stuff up now, huh?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
Yeah.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process. to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Huh?
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuno, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania.
How have you failed? What?
Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand.
Yeah, it immediately went off the rails.
By their own admission, these scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? No. If we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Rabble, 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 rabble.
Order! We will have order! Master Montaigne raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand.
Not everyone. By far.
I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed.
Alright, wait, hold up. No. That's not how voting works. You see, there's voting for, voting against, and abstaining. Okay? Some of those people might not be against. They might be abstaining. You can't just say, oh, 51 for and 48 against. No. That's not how voting works.
Students, scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences.
Now, if your voting system specifically needs, like, a majority to vote for, then that's, I guess it doesn't matter if some abstain, but still, you can't just say, oh, they're against it. They might be abstaining. Choosing not to
Honored
vote at
members,
all.
I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Well. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that this mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. With our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn aught more of substance here in Sharlayan. Indeed. It is true. Has a look of dissatisfaction. Estate visitor. Which? Ah, that's the final quest in this chain. We'll at least start it. But we should head off and join Urianger and Thancred and them. Estinian.
The overall picture has grown clearer, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may, is father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family?
Alfredo, Alicia, it is you. Oh, is that your mother?
When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. I'm so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother!
Your husband is a horrible father.
Emilion Slevier at your service. And you fine people must be the scions of the seventh dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you.
Mother, please. We don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches father that you were here...
Oh, bother that! Am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I'm well aware that you and Master Forchenot are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting.
The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go visit your home. We'll be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us.
I'm not sure we... June, what do you think? Junasia! The Junasia Visan! What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Uh-huh. But we must be quick about it. Not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Why, what? Wow! Alphino and Alicia, your father is a terrible person. How can you even think to, like, punish the servants for that? Like, come on. Junasia, if you would be so kind as to escort my children to the estate.
Why don't you... They could just go with you right now. What?
And then she was gone. And with her, any opportunity to protest.
You could still just not go. That's an opportunity.
Indeed. The matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three.
Quest accepted. And also, the sunlight shining through the tree there like that. Look at that. The little circles. Looks great. Okay, I'll be back. Levier, kids. I've got to go check on... Whoops. Gotta go check on Thancred and Urianger and Estinian. After I ended the stream, I did do an ether current quest over here. And I also got, I think, another ether current up at the tip here. Just kind of ran around up there. I can't go down here yet. I did find out that there is, I think it's right down here, there's like a weird bridge path thing. But it's like guarded, so you can't just walk on down. So probably quest related to get access to that lower area. That's why they won't let me just jump off the cliff. Nidana. A boy's errand. Yes, a boy's errand, which is... Yeah, that's third to last on this chain.
If you will excuse me, I shall return to my work on the talisman.
Ah, you're both back. Excellent.
You are both back. Excellent. I have a message for you, Mistress Nidana. It would seem the stories of Giant Skull are running low.
Or the stores of Giant Skull are running low. What?
But when last I looked, there was still plenty. I suspect that was before Urianger told everyone about their tempering cure, and Estinian shared his knowledge of dragons. Your peers have since been inspired to fashion a number of new talisman prototypes. I see. Well, if it leads to new possibilities, then far be it from me to complain. But we will need to relinquish our stores, or replenish our stores. I should be happy to tend to this if you like. As much as I appreciate the offer, my dear boy, I can't in good conscience send you out there alone while kidnappers are at large. Ginosia, loath though I am to press another task on you so soon, might I ask you to fetch the giant skull? In case you're not familiar, giant skull is a type of ore found on the island. Owing to its hardiness and ethereal conductivity, it has applications in many disciplines, alchemy not least of all. The quarry where it is found, aptly named Giant Skull Grounds, isn't far away, so it shouldn't take much of your time. May we impose on you once more? Thank you. Upon arriving at the grounds, please seek out a man named Zuyuha. Zenuha. Yes, named Zenuha. He will furnish you with the ore. At the very least, permit me to accompany you. It so happens I have an errand of my own that will take me to the outpost nearby. May we borrow a pair of Hamza, Mistress Nidana? By all means, do try to be patient with them. Those that survived are still in training. I will bring the Hamza to the entrance. Meet me there when you are ready.
Alright. Yeah. Orion. We ride. Barsan.
Here are our Hamza, Ginasia. If the creatures look familiar, it is because they are close kin to our Eorzean dodos. Hamza have long been kept as livestock in Thavnir, and many a hatchery may be found here. Alas, the largest of these was recently raised by monsters from the tower. On account of said hatchery being situated near the tower, the Radiant Host repurposed its remnants as an outpost. That is where my errand takes me, and your own destination is but a stone's throw away. If you have no objections, let us first make for the outpost. We set forth at your word.
Okay, let's go. But also, these things are way too small for me to ride.
Are you ready? Then let us depart. We need only ride and relax. My bird and I will take the lead for yours to follow.
How? No, how? This thing got bigger. Wait, hold up.
Let's be off. If you haven't ridden those before, be warned. Be warned that they have a wobbling gait.
I swear mine got bigger when I left aboard it.
A spectacular formation stretching out over the water is called Khadga, a word which means sword. This sword, legends hold, was wielded by the Manuzia against the Murga before it was cast down at conflict's end. To the left and requiring no introduction is the tower. As you can see, it straddles a small isle.
Yeah.
Almost there. Though the main part of the hatchery is atop the cliff, the outpost itself is on the beach.
comes a hatchery. You have discovered a new location. You have discovered a new location. Many new locations being discovered today.
And here we are, manned by the Radiant Host. This outpost is our first line of defense against the tower.
It is rather close. Well, well, who should it be but young Varshan? On an errand for the satrap?
I am. His Excellency bade me come to collect your report. He also wished to express his heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women of the Radiant Host for their unflagging dedication.
We simply do our duty, but we are honored to receive His Excellency's regard. And yet, for his boundless benevolence, his treatment of one so young could be regarded as callous. Though we have enjoyed relative peace and calm these past few days, this remains the front line of battle. No place for children. Your predecessor too often traveled alone. It's been, what, 2 years now since you took over? I wonder how the fellow is faring.
Like those before him, he went on to represent the satrap in foreign lands. Wherever he may now be, I am certain he is well. As for myself, I assure you that all I do for my own volition, and gladly. I pray you do not think ill of His Excellency.
Certainly not, lad. Whatever happens, my faith in the satrap is unwavering. But still, I worry for you. He would be overcome with sadness if something were to befall you, for you are as little brother to us all. Take care, do you hear?
I will, Navdeen. Thank you.
And who might this be? Not Hanish, by the look of her.
Permit me to introduce Genasi Visan of the Eorzea contingent, come to assist in the making of the talisman.
From Eorzea, you say? Towers have appeared over there too, yes? Tell me, what is the situation like?
A shooting star, May I suggest that you exchange information with our soldiers? Both parties would stand to learn something of value, I believe.
An excellent idea, given the unprecedented nature of the threat. Some of ours are understandably anxious. We would be glad for any tidings you can share. You two, bring Vasan to the latest report and answer any questions he may have.
Oh my goodness. 3 people to talk to. Imudi.
I've heard about you. The visitor from Eorzea. Is there anything you can tell us about the Telophoroi?
We know that they're the ones behind the tower, and that they've declared war on the whole world. But why are they doing this? What is it they want? This we don't understand.
They want to destroy the world.
What? They want to die? And take everyone with them? What madness is this?
Well, you can bet that we won't let those have their way. We'll fight them with everything we have, like our Eorzean and Far Eastern brothers.
Yeah. Couture.
You wish to know about the tower? To be honest, we know little and less about it ourselves. This Tower of Zat, as folk have taken to calling it, suddenly appeared where it did on the island of Narunair. We're safe from its influence at this distance, but go too far into the water and you'll expose yourself to its corrupting ether. You're a foreigner, aren't you? How are they dealing with the tower in your homeland? Our struggles are not unique, and our hopes still lie with the talismans. We must keep the monsters contained until they're ready.
Indeed. Now, Badine. It occurs to me I have yet to properly introduce our company. We are the Radiant Host, a military order under the satrap's command. Our duty is to preserve peace in the land, be it patrolling the streets or dealing with heretofore unknown threats, such as now. We train hard and admit only capable warriors in our ranks. Even so, we've struggled to contend with the fiends from the tower. Though we succeeded in striking them down on the 2 occasions they came in force, we have had to pay a heavy price. What of the towers in Eorzea? Do they likewise spawn monsters? So it's much the same everywhere. With every nation struggling, we cannot expect calls for outside aid to be answered. True. Though I'm here.
Finished speaking with the soldiers, have you? I hope it was as enlightening for you as it was for them. As a neutral nation and trading hub both, Rajatan ordinarily receives a steady stream of news from abroad. Alas, this stream dried up when trading vessels stopped coming. Amidst the dearth of information, everyone will have been grateful for your account. But come, you had best see to your original errand, as mine will keep me here a while longer. However, I'm afraid I can't guide you the rest of the way. Worry not, the path is straightforward. You need but follow the road east. Upon the Hamza, you will arrive before you know it. Brief though it was, I enjoyed our time together. Till we meet again.
Though the Hamza appears to want to return home, it reluctantly offers you its back. Should you become separated from your steed, speak with blah blah blah. Yeah, I reluctantly climb aboard.
Why would I climb aboard this thing?
77 to the northeast, you say? So close. I had no idea. $110 to the northwest. Where is it really? 67 to the south. What? Aha! Here we are. In this little crumbled building. Okay, well then unmount. Yeah, unmount when I'm on any of my actual mounts. And I try to interact with an ether current. 400 to the east. Apparently I have to ride on the back of this dodo. Ridiculous. Where am I even headed? Oh. Over there. I see. Very tiny little spot that I must travel to. But yeah, like, this is ridiculous. I have my own mounts. I could ride one of them. I could ride a horse with 6 legs and wings. Or I could ride a unicorn. I could become a phoenix. There's a number of things that I could use.
travel, but instead I have to use this stupid little dodo. Who really should not be able to carry my weight. Like, my goodness. And the Hamza dashes off. Well, good. I don't need a Hamza. Zenua!
Aye, this is indeed the Giant Skull grounds. And I am Zenua. Is there something you require? Giant Skull for the alchemists, you say? But of course they shall have it. They labor tirelessly to deal with the tower, and 'tis the least we can do to provide them with the materials they need. Here you are, a sack of the purest Giant Skull. We always get some, or set some aside for our alchemist friends. Ether current. When you deliver it, let the good folk of the Great Work know that we're grateful for their efforts. If they need more, they need but ask.
Yep. Just give me a second whilst I dash off to this ether current. What? Why can I not jump on that? It's so stupid. A tune. Woo. And we'll just pour it on back. Currently, our ether currents for this area, 2 quests done and 5 adventuring ether currents. Labyrinthos, 5 adventuring ether currents, 0 quests, but there's one that's available.
Ah, welcome back, Junasia. Dare I hope to have the Giant Skull?
Of course. Here you are.
Oh my, such fine specimens. Thank you so much for bringing these. We now have everything we need to make our next prototype. One that should be capable of passing our most rigorous tests. When it is ready, it will be time for the true test. So please take your ease while you can.
Who's this? I guess they're just a person? And off we walk down to the shore.
I see our taskmasters have allowed you a moment's respite as well.
Hello.
You have to hand it to these alchemists. They are determined to see this endeavor of theirs succeed. I've never been one for blind optimism, but I sincerely get the sense they're close to a breakthrough.
That would be good. A talisman that anyone could wear.
Better be, or all this effort was for naught.
That anyone could wear and prevent themselves from being tempered. On top of the fact that we have a cure for tempering.
Of the Far East, of Thavner, children of this star united in common cause against a dire threat. Yet ere they succumbed to suicidal madness, were not the Telophoroi born of her body as were we? They who cling to life and the promise of the morrow's dawn, against they who desire death and an ending of their own orchestration.
The victors of this war alone will hold the right to answer the question of existence, of its meaning, and its worth.
No?
Poetic and ominous to a fault. That said, if it's an existential debate in nature, then our arguments might not be as persuasive as you'd think.
Hey, Urian J, your feet are getting a bit soaked there.
Fandaniel wants to die and take everyone with him in an orgy of pain and suffering. An utterly vile and unforgivable idea.
Yep.
And yet, when spat upon by fate and wailing in the deepest pit of despair, who among us can say they have not entertained similar thoughts?
No.
There are nights black as pitch, bereft of hope, and no words of comfort can reach you. And it's all you can do to grit your teeth and choke back the bile.
I mean, sure, but not kill everyone, and then myself.
The more you see and suffer life's injustices, the more difficult they become to bear.
Yeah.
Vengeance is nurtured in similar soil. Though your anger has a broader focus, the sentiment is much the same. A fervent desire to destroy others, to see them drown in torment, as you have.
That about sums it up. The will to endure is not always as strong as the urge to burn it all down and salt the earth. Survival be damned. It's a struggle, often close and brutal.
Indeed. Well, I, for one, shall pray survival proveth more appealing in the end.
As will I. Besides, our chances are much improved when we've the company of others committed to the cause of life. Our vengeful dragoon here is proof of that.
Oh, hello. Fandaniel.
What is it? What did you see?
Fandaniel. Spying on us.
Fandaniel, are you sure? If he knows we've been working on a countermeasure.
It holds. The vessel holds! This is the one!
Uh-oh.
At long last!
We should get over there.
Look! We have finally created a talisman strong enough to withstand our experiments.
That's good.
We've named it a warding scale for the time being. With this in your possession, your soul should be completely shielded from corruptive ether.
Afforded such protection, any one of us may approach the towers without fear. Thou hast mine admiration. 'Tis an invention of historical significance.
Yeah.
I thank you for your kind words. But I would prefer you keep them unsaid until we test the talisman's efficacy in the field.
True.
It is for the next stage of our plan that we summoned you in the first place, to accompany me to the Tower of Zot. Should the scale prove effective, as I very much hope it will, then you'll have little to do. But should the effect be weaker than anticipated, I must ask that you restrain me, or knock me senseless.
Oh, you needn't ask. I would beat you over the head, regardless. No. Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Either way, we are fortunate to have you with us.
Yeah.
Nidana, are you certain you wish to do this?
If others are to trust our creations, then we must have faith in them first. And as the senior researcher, it falls to me to lead by example. But should I fail to return, then learn what you can from this attempt and apply it to the next. Our work must continue. Is that clear?
We'll keep an eye on the place while you're away. Assuming Fandaniel is lurking about, there's no telling what mischief he has in mind for us, or you. Be on your guard.
Yeah. Nodders.
Shall we be on our way? I'll have one of the soldiers at the hatchery prepare us a boat, and we can set out from the northern shore. I'll see you there.
Probably don't want to approach the tower by sea. It'd be difficult to restrain you. And also to fight while swimming. There we go. Oh, come on. Hey there. How? His wings are smaller than your arms. Bruh, how? Oh, he's gone. Also, the moon. The moon. It's so big. My goodness, it's a giant moon. It's more than twice the size of the moon we have in real life. Ah, dang. Man, my controller vibrating to the thumps of my horse's hooves. Yeah, are we really gonna take a boat out? I guess that's the only way to get close to it, huh?
This is a rather finer boat than I had expected, but I won't complain. All that remains is to board and be on our way. Oh, and if I should become corrupted, do not stay your hand. Of course, I pray it does not come to that, but you must protect yourself. Other alchemists can fulfill my role, but you and your blessing are one of a kind, and perhaps our only hope of toppling this tower. For all our sakes, do not hesitate to do what must be done, whatever that may be. Well, the longer I draw this out, the more nervous I become. Let's be off.
Okay. Off we go.
We should soon cross the threshold of the tower's influence. Any moment now.
Uh-oh.
It's working! And
Yeah.
you are still yourself? Then I'd like to see how it fares closer to the tower if we could.
Of course I'm still myself. I'm immune. But yeah. I mean, immune to tempering, that is. To a degree, I suppose.
So far, so good. The scale's protection appears to be holding. If we can just make it to the tower's entrance. A few more steps.
I feel like something's gonna happen.
Praise be to the sisters, we made it! And the scale has proven itself to be everything we hoped it would be. Now we can focus on production. Once we've equipped and returned with an entire survey team, this menace will soon give up its secrets.
Smile.
What?
Uh-oh. Nefarious ne'er-do-wells. No! Grr. Why did you have to insist on getting all the way up to the door? Very spiky, the inside of this tower. Ugh. Eek. Hey, you.
Oh, let me go! Oh, let me go!
Oh, do calm down. You'll only hurt yourself thrashing about like that.
You let her go.
Stop! Oh, you can't do this! Please!
No! How dare you?
A little late for heroics, I'm afraid. The similarities are striking. My! Such hostility! Never before has my artistry so displeased. My patrons of old would have positively squealed in delight, though, between you and me, I find gushing praise exhausting.
Patrons of old?
Allow me to tell you a story. Surely you've yet to hear the one about Van Daniel, the sundered Ascian. I inherited the position and the soul of the Van Daniel who sat on the convocation in the time of the final days, theoretically speaking. Practically speaking, that fact is of no consequence. I was born and lived as, well, me. Eventually, I was recruited into the Ascians and imbued with the former Van Daniel's knowledge and memories, but I never felt that they were truly a part of who I am. How to explain? Perhaps if I told you who I was before my Ascian embrace, although that chapter too is a past I've long since discarded. I have it on good authority you've poked your nose into an Allegan ruin or two. Yes? Then I expect you've heard of me. The old me.
At your service.
Amon? Don't recall. It's been a while since.
Imagine a nation of unbridled prosperity. Every need met, day after day of unbroken, unshakable peace. Existence fulfilled and ripe for decay.
You are a genius without peer, Amon. However do you conceive of such delightful experiments? That fool was beside himself with panic when he awoke with the head of a bull.
Even his cries for help emerged as so much guttural lowing.
What is wrong with you people?
Oh, the memory of it. My poor sides. My friends and I were so consumed by laughter we struggled to breathe. No more than entertainment for bored wastrels ignorant of its worth. My all-consuming work. But it was not their only indulgence. For they were ever hungry for stimulation. Slaves to the slightest hint that amusement was afoot. Our nation was ailing, but I would see the poison purged. I resurrected a legend, our first and greatest emperor. And just as I had planned, he set our wayward empire back on the path of conquest. An inexhaustible ambition carried us onwards. Always onwards. Yet, he who delivered to us such glory was not to be satisfied. Heed me, Armon. No matter how vast one's empire, or full one's treasure vault, all is rendered meaningless by death. In the end, all is lost.
You know as well as I that the Emperor stands to lose this war. And so I have come to claim you.
Hermit suck.
For while your methods leave something to be desired, we cannot deny the results of your work. And as fortune would have it, the seat of Van Daniel, your rightful seat, lies vacant and waiting. Take your place amongst your peers, rather than die a pointless death amidst the ashes of your doomed nation. Send one of your clones to the Crystal Tower that you might see for yourself. See what lies ahead.
The fall of the Empire affirmed the truth. Majestic and tragic, as the Emperor foresaw. Scheme as you like, build as you will, nothing endures. What is life but a brief jaunt ending in emptiness?
And Van Daniel is gone. No, there he is. Wait, no, he is gone.
So easily distracted. Why, I almost left without saying farewell. As for your friend, you needn't worry. These pawns are far more useful to me alive as fuel for the primals. If you attempt to pull them free, they will die. So, enjoy tackling that conundrum with your comrades. We shall meet again! Not in one of these minor spires, oh no, but somewhere more suitably grandiose. Your favorite playmate is ever so eager to see.
But what if I pull them out, they die, and then I cast Resurrection and bring them back up, and then we leave? Huh? What about that? Yeah, I just literally cast Egiro. Resurrects target.
Ah, you are returned, but where is Mistress Nidana?
Well,
Manusia Preserve. Just when we had succeeded in making the talisman. I must report this at once. Meanwhile, please return to the great work.
just gotta get this bit of map real quick along the beach. Hey, level 83! Woohoo!
The great work.
Banquet.
Something's gone awry, hasn't it? What happened?
Fan Daniel.
So it was Van Daniel after all. That. I'm sure you wanted to do more, but you were right to return here first. We must tread warily lest we endanger Nidana and the other captives.
Yep. The satrap of Radzatan.
First, we must inform everyone of the situation, Nidana's colleagues included. I'll call them together for a gathering, but I think it would be best if you were the one to explain.
Yeah.
Oh, Nidana. Can you answer me this? Though Nidana is trapped in the tower, she's still alive, yes?
Yeah.
Then we must make warding scales, as many as we can. The prototype works perfectly. This Nidana proved at peril to herself. So let us make more scales, that she and all those who were taken might be saved. Aye, as alchemists, this is how we will help win the fight. My friends, the satrap has been made aware of the tragedy. He offers his heartfelt condolences and reiterates his pledge to provide you with all that you require. To that end, he bade me give you this link pearl, that he might personally discuss the production of the warding scales with you. And for our Eorzean visitors, I bear an invitation. In her report, Mistress Nidana noted your vital contributions to the talisman's creation. This fact came to the satrap's attention, and in recognition of your deeds, he wishes to meet you. In addition to thanking you in person, he would also discuss further avenues of collaboration. And so, if it is agreeable, will you not accompany me to Radzatan for an audience with His Excellency?
Yeah, I guess so.
We should be honored, of course. Closer cooperation between our lands can only be to the benefit of all.
Then it is settled. Please come to the gates east of Giant Skull grounds, and I will show you into the city.
Ah. Good. Finally, I get access to below this cliffside here. Access to the other half of this area. Woo! 400. The southeast. It'll be a long ride, though, to get there. We'll quickly dip up and see about getting this bit of map here. Okay. There we go. And up this time. Of claws and gum. Let us just continue to the east. To the guardsmen that I told you of, and the bridge. Look at this. Beautiful. And of course, you can see the hill there leads down into this valley.
All present? Then let us proceed. Owing to the threat of the tower, the city is currently in a state of high alert, and strict restrictions are in place for entry. Though you have been granted special permission, I ask that you remain close to me at all times.
Yeah.
A vast rock squats upon Favnir, and to its stony surface clings the city of Rads-at-Han.
Why is this the voice of Emmett Salk that's doing this narration bits? Gotta wonder about that. Considering Emmett Salk is dead.
Ye who enter here are subject to the scrutiny of gods, the gate's most watchful eye. The orb which beholdeth the truth of all things. Pass beneath its hot and piercing gaze, bearing down like a second midday sun. The fragrant haze, a mixture of sweet incense and acrid smoke. The cries of merchants mingled here with lively melodies accented by dancers' feet. Travelers seduced by vivid sound and colors were once swallowed up by patchwork streets.
Rads-at-Han. Idul-Savard.
But no such scenes to savor now. To what somber present does that divine eye bear witness?
Here we are. Megaduta. It seems a shame to bring you here directly. Under normal circumstances, it would have been my pleasure to show you the sights.
And it would have been our pleasure to see them. Alas, it seems our tour of the city will have to wait.
I'm afraid so. Come, we should head inside. Your Excellency, may I present our honored visitors?
Ah, splendid. Most splendid. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Ahawan, satrap of Radzatan. Our alchemists tell me your assistance was invaluable in the creation of the warding scale.
Here?
Such deeds ought to be recognized in person. Thus did I have young Varshan convey you here forthwith. On behalf of my people, may I express to you our sincere gratitude.
Not everything went to plan.
I assume you speak of Nidana. A regrettable incident indeed. Her colleagues insist that we honor her wishes and trust in the talisman, that it will be instrumental in saving Nidana and the others. I am eager to hear your opinion on the matter, so let us not stand on ceremony. Come, sit.
I think not. This charade has gone on long enough. Show yourself.
He's actually a dragon.
Forgive me, but were you expecting musicians, perhaps? There are no performers waiting in the wings at present, but arrangements could be made if you'd prefer.
And this is an illusion.
Nay, he hath the right of it.
Or not an illusion,
The time for artifice is past. Raise the curtain.
As you wish.
You travel as assistants to the students of Valdesian, but you are known to me.
Wait, Guardsermer?
Even here have we heard of the scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Or no? No. Someone else.
I am Vritra, and for years uncounted hath this isle served as mine abode.
Vritra, of the first brood, sibling to Hraesvelga and Nidhogg.
Aye, mine elder brothers, of Midgard's Sorma's spawn. I was last to hatch.
Well, isn't this a surprise? We were told Radzat Han had an alliance with a dragon. Not that a great worm sat in the satrap's own hall.
A necessary subterfuge, as the true tale of our nation history illustrates most effectively.
How did these work? You got these giant teeth here, these two giant teeth that prevent you from actually eating anything bigger than this. Because you can't possibly open your mouth up wide enough to actually use those.
In the beginning, the rock upon which our city is built was home to Vitra, and Vitra alone.
Like, seriously. They don't even, you can't even just like use them to gouge or whatever, because you got this giant horn to do the gouging with. And it kind of gets in the way of gouging things with this. So I don't know, man.
In time, the ancestors of the Matanga came to the island and established a foothold. But never did they dare disturb the worm's lair. Next to arrive with the Aura, adopting the example of their Akasodra allies, they too treated Vitra with reverence and respect. And for many years, an understanding between our forefathers and the Great Worm endured. Until marauding heroes from the mainland came, threatening to shatter our peace and tranquility.
Of course.
When it seemed all would be drowned in blood, Vitra himself came forth and quelled the rising conflict. A peaceful accord was reached, and oaths sworn in Vitra's name. Thus began the dragon's governance of the fledgling state, which was to grow into Radz Athan.
But if Vitra is still here, then your position as Satrap is just...
a charade, yes. And one which my family has performed faithfully for generations.
Many envy the Great Worms their power. Were it known that I ruled here, then the fires of war would burn without end. I would not be the flame which consumeth my people. Those few who join me in laying our country's foundations were, perforce, sworn to secrecy.
Your eye. It was taken.
"'Tis here, buried within the semblance of flesh. The body before thee is but a simulacrum, constructed by the finest artisans of Razatan. With mine eye nestled within, it doth serve as an inconspicuous vessel for my wind."
Uh-huh.
That would explain why I felt the presence of a dragon upon our first meeting.
I am woven with words fashioned to deceive such arcane senses. Though 'twas short-lived, it seemeth thy fusion with my brother hath left thee much altered, Estinian warmblood. From the very first, we sensed the nature of one another, yet did neither one of us bare his fangs. That is all I need know of thee for now.
With my secret thus revealed, I have for you a proposal. Not as a worm of the first brood, but as the ruler of Radz Athan. With all haste must we take in hand the finished talismans and breach this foul spire. Thence, should it lay within our power, dispel its wicked influence. Yet even with the assurance of the warding scales, the narrow confines of the tower doth limit the size of our force.
And thus denied strength in numbers, thou must choose thy soldiers with care.
Just so. Yet though our radiant host is formidable, I see a surer path before me. Thou and thy comrades have contended with a multitude of primal beings. Most recently, thou didst cast down false gods in Pagalthan and Cartanau, I am told.
True. That is true.
'Tis upon that strength I would call. The Scions have proven themselves the most capable, and I ask that you serve as the tip of our spear. Talismans would, of course, be provided for each of thy companions. And should you agree to this undertaking, more will be provided to make use of as you see fit.
There's no denying it's a dangerous proposition, but the rewards may far outweigh the risk. Just think of what we might accomplish if we could equip all our allies with warding scales.
True.
I worry, however, that even the 4 of us may be too few for what you have in mind. Might we regroup with our friends first to discuss the matter?
'Tis no trifling task that I have laid before you. Go. Steel your hearts and hone your plans. Such time as you require shall be spent in crafting your protective charms.
It seems a quick trip back to Sharlayan is in order.
Yeah. Twould seem.
Wilt thou not lend thine aid?
Whether your request be made as a great worm or the ruler of Rads at Han, I see no reason to refuse, nor will I.
I am in thy debt.
Right. That meeting took a rather unexpected turn, but we now have a clear objective ahead of us. Let us rejoin our comrades in Sharlayan and muster a suitable crew for our foray into the Tower of Zot. Oh, and if you haven't already done so, be sure to attune to the Aetheryte here before departing. Unless, of course, you enjoy violent nausea.
Well, I would like to get access to this Aetheryte. I've done those 2. But can I...
No!
Rude. Back to old Sharlayan.
Let's go finish up these 2 chains of quests.
Feel like we've delayed the tea with the Levier family long enough.
I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I am relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Genosia? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us to on our visit home?
Yes.
Fine. If we're going, then let's get it over with. But be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not? Your room was always perfectly neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you couldn't bring yourself to throw away? Childhood toys? I mean, never mind. The Levier estate is that way. Straight down the stairs. Come on.
And now accompanying you. Oh, must be this way. Because there are talking points.
When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, travelling to different continents, different worlds even. As children, Alphino and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work.
must have been a day when his meetings ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name.
And now he's disowning you.
Oh yes, this is where I first practiced magic on an actual person. Alice had fallen, you see, and scraped her knee quite badly, so I tried casting the simple restorative spell I had only just learned. How she smiled when the wound closed, the joy and relief. That was, I believe, the very moment I chose the healing arts as the main subject of my studies.
Aw.
We used to come here all the time with grandfather. In summer, I would dip my hands and feet in the fountain and splash about. Not Alphino, though. Even back then, he wasn't very fond of playing in water. He'd make any excuse to avoid it. Which would explain how I came to swim like an auk and he sink like a stone.
Wow. Emeliance. Mother of the twins.
And here you are at last. Please do come in.
Yes, at last. Sorry, I was delayed. Many.
Welcome home, my lady.
Fancy.
What? What are you gawping at?
Yeah. Squalid indeed. Has there be in all its grandeur.
Oh, gods, please don't. It makes me feel like a spoiled princess.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you'd accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
Are they gonna get new outfits? Also, is this when Alphino becomes a sage, perhaps? Or is that later?
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures.
I assume.
I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying.
I assume they've talked about me on occasion.
Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations.
Aw.
Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name.
Wow.
It is plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them.
Indeed.
Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
A tale or two, huh? Well, we went to another world. Yeah, new outfit. Thought so.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
See, his is blue.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you'd allow me, Master Alphino.
I bet he is becoming a sage, isn't he? Yep. Just like me.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry.
Wink.
I am told these devices are quite difficult to master, but someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
Those are some weird gloves, though.
We will, Mother. I promise.
They just cover the fingers down to the knuckle, and then the rest of the hand is exposed.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunato has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words.
Yeah.
Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
And off we go. Smile.
Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief. For now, however, I will have to suffice. It will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us. These gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality, let us return to the annex and rejoin our companions.
Indeed. See, it's perfect. Everybody's all in one place for me to finish out the 2 quest chains. Also, make sure that all my stuff is fully repaired. Good. Also, I've got over 1 million gil. Nice, nice. They're probably in the main hall, ain't they? Yep.
Just as I was getting used to balmy Thavner, we're back in chilly Sharlayan. Take care not to catch your death, eh? We need you for the battles to come. Now then, everyone appears to be here, so let us take stock of all the developments and discoveries.
Enjoyed your time with the Leviers, I hope? I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them to reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Hydaelyn is sure to guide us going forward.
How is a flower that changes with ambient emotion going to guide me anywhere, Kryl? I don't... Hydaelyn, what? Huh? Oh, you're free, but also let this flower guide you. But also, you're free to do whatever you want, but also you should go and do this. Flippin' Hydaelyn.
I'm confident that once we've heard your report from Thavner, we'll be well equipped to plot out our next move.
And we'll start that quest next time on Final Fantasy XIV. Yes, that'll be main quest chain continued, which has 3 quests, including a dungeon. And it's only 3 quests level 81, followed by a bunch of level 82s, followed by a bunch of level 83s. Thankfully, I'm already level 83, but we don't know how long that will keep up. Working our way through. Oh. Sorry, it's just scrolling down the quest list and just seeing some of them, the quest names having like a bunch of weird symbols in their name, and I'm just like, huh? But anyways, that's way far ahead. We'll just Next up, in the dark of the tower.
In the dark of the tower, people are wailing.
In the dark of the tower, they are forced to summon. Yes, well, I guess off stream I'll probably finish out getting Bard to level 50. Maybe start leveling Gladiator. Who knows? Who knows? Because, man, we got Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 coming out next Thursday. Oh, but I should, real quick, go ahead and equip this and glamour it. 18, yeah. Look at that, 511 total level. Still need to replace these legs. Anyways, yeah, that's for all the healer classes, so don't need to get rid of that. Yeah. Though actually, since I've got this that's also level 8, I could get rid of that. Is that sellable? Yes. Then I will sell that. Same level requirement as this one, and this one's got better stats, so. Yeah. So we'll be continuing Return to Mysterious Island on Monday. And possibly Wednesday. We'll see how long that game ends up being. And next Thursday, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And next Saturday, back to more 14. Continuing this story. But at any rate, I will see you next mission. Bye-bye.